Welcome back, y'all, to another video. And today we will be recapping the Valley episode 4. And I like this season so far. I'm actually enjoying the episode without we having Jax of it all. I feel as if that there's a different element to the show without the darkness of Jax, but we know we won't have that privilege to have an entire season without Jax, really. As much as there was little entwines with him in the actual episode, I am glad that he's not specifically in there, because with the whole Jesse of it all, we know that Jax basically would have come around and basically just make it 10 times more toxic. And I'm just happy that we never have to deal with him in the actual episode. No, the episode started off where we had pretty much the group of them that are heading to, I think it was Santa Barbara or so. They were going on their first cast trip, put it that way. And this is where we saw where Jessie is the one who's hosting it. Michelle decided to go, and she basically decided to, I thought based on the invitation, it would have been that she would be carrying her significant other, but it did not seem like he actually went based on the actual episode. No, we saw where when they all arrived at the house, Jesse was giving out white flags. Of course, Michelle decided not to take the white flag because she and Jesse kind of ended on not so good terms, especially with the whole alleged saying that she slept with a billionaire for $15 a night. I don't think they actually spoke about it. So I think she's still in her feelings basically about the whole situation of it all. That she is, yeah, she's still in her feelings because they not had a conversation. So hence why she did not want to take the white flag, because to her, maybe taking the white flag would have maybe made Jesse feel as if that what he said was correct or it was right. So I could see why she necessarily did not want to take the white flag from Jesse. But yeah. Now, we also saw where Jesse also confronted Janet and Brittany, where he was basically saying that apparently they were gossiping about his girlfriend. And yeah, so apparently she doesn't want to be named on the show. She sent them cease and desist. And of course, we saw that phone call where Sheena confirmed that she's basically cheated on Jesse. And to him, he was saying that they have broken up or taken a break or whatever. But we saw where the three of them got into it, where we had Janet basically saying that he said that your best friend cheated on me, and then Janet saying that if she was married to Jesse, she would have cheated as well. And I'm not a fan of Janet, so I know Jesse has his ways, but I don't know if it's me, but I'm kind of more team Jesse, because something about Michelle just seems very not. There is something more there. And unless she gives more of a full story or than what the show is painting her out to be, I'm not saying Jesse is a saint, but I just feel like there is more to Michelle, and I think that persons just have to keep their eye open on that, because the fact that we're kind of sweeping under the rug that she cheated, then while she was married and pretty much everything, it's just like, I don't like that thinking where, oh, you were such a horrible person, so it was okay for me to cheat. Then I think you should have gotten out of the relationship or gotten out of the marriage. So I don't like that idea of where, because Jesse's such a horrible person, it gave Michelle the okay for her to cheat and it's no problem. But I'm sure if Jesse was the one who did something like that, you would have these said ladies saying that, how could you cheat on Michelle, whatever the case might be. So I don't like that whole notion and idea, and just the whole thing that he was painting previous episodes where she would go out on a hike or run. She had a full face of makeup. She would be passing the said guy that she's now with. It's like, it's too much, and I don't like the fact that it's not taken seriously, pretty much. So we got to where we saw Janet and Zack finally decided to have a conversation, because they're all in this one house. This is the first time, I believe, Janet will be seeing Zack since they started filming. And we all know last season he said some stuff, and Janet pretty much overheard or heard back from Brittany that this is what Zack said. And she went on her podcast pretty much throwing Zack and also looping Kristen in by saying that they didn't want her to go full term or whatever. And I did not like the fact that she ran Kristen's name through the mud off season. And it's when they came back for filming, this is when she decides to clear the air or clear it up that, well, maybe I just kind of collateral damage pretty much. And that was something very serious. And the fact that you let that narrative run until you decided to come back to filming, you did not like how you look on season 1. So you came back now trying to be such a changed person. I did not like that, but I'm kind of glad that we early in the season we got this sit down between Zack and Janet where they were able to clear the air. Janet, to me, she was not so defensive when it came on to the situation where she wasn't that defensive. So I like that they were able to actually I like that the fact they were able to actually make the decision to move forward, and at least it did not blow up into something serious, which would have then set the tone for that trip, basically, because we already have Jesse and Michelle at it. Then we already know Zack and Janet weren't talking, so at least this conversation was not necessarily left with a sour taste where they can't stand to be around each other. But of course, Zack was basically a little upset with, especially with Brittany, because he then found out that she necessarily did not hear. It was Brittany who actually went back to her and let her know what was said. And to my knowledge, I know Brittany is friends with Janet and Zack, but to my knowledge, I believe Zack and Brittany has been friends from Kentucky. So I think where Zack was coming from, where he was thinking a bit more loyalty from Brittany towards him, but he didn't get that pretty much. So he was more upset. Not really more upset, but he was actually upset with Brittany. The fact that she brought, if it was so bad, why would you then say to her? But honestly, Zack, I could see your point, but if it's already on camera, whether Brittany said it or not, she would have still found out. So I don't see your reasoning for being upset with Brittany for mentioning it, because Brittany was right there. And I'm pretty sure Janet would have been upset if she then saw it on camera and saw that Brittany was right there and she didn't say anything. So I could see where Brittany could be in the middle, where damn if she do, damn if she don't. And I believe she just decided that, guess what? This is not something nice you should have said, which is true. And she brought it to Janet. Whether we like Janet or not, it is what it is. Now, we got to where we saw also Brittany throughout the entire episode by saying that Jax is pretty much rage texting her. And I don't know what person is actually checked into rehab to better themselves and they're pretty much rage texting their ex-wife or soon to be ex-wife. And in between your therapy sessions, you are basically sending her, I'm pretty sure, the opposite than what you're sharing in your therapy session, because I'm sure he's in his therapy session and putting on the act as if like he is trying to change or he's learning something, but at the same time you're going on your phone doing the same opposite behavior. And that is just really sad, because just as Brittany said, she thought that, okay, he will be gone for 30 days. She would have probably had the flexibility or the freedom of enjoying those 30 days where he's trying to get help, but she has some sort of peace. But for him to even be rage texting her, and one thing is, I don't know why is it that they even let him had his phone. I know that he's the one who checks in and he can check out at any time he wants. But I think people checking in for situations like that, I think you should confiscate their phone from them. Like, they should not have access to the phone. They shouldn't have access to the outside world, because they are in there trying to better themselves. So focus on that. But the fact that he is rage texting her, and Jesse was the one who said to him that they went to Santa Barbara. But it is sad that she literally cannot necessarily shake this guy, and it's so sad. Yes, she has a beautiful child by him, But it's really sad as well where she can't even have any sort of freedom from him because they will forever be attached because of their son. And I don't know, Brittany, and I still like, if you've seen all of this stuff, I really hope, and I'm glad that you stated that there's 100% chance that you won't get back with him. But in the beginning of the season, you were the one who were saying that you guys sounded like you wanted to get back together. And I think that all of you went through, why would that still cross your mind where you felt like you want to get back together with him? So I'm just hoping that you stick to not making Jax feel as if like he can do a number on you again. The fact that he's now diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I'm glad that he got a diagnosis. I just hope that whatever treatment or whatever, he actually sticks to it and actually work on himself for himself. I don't want Jax to work on himself for his child only, or the hopes of getting back with Brittany, or just for the public perception of him. I think he should actually try to work on himself for himself and not necessarily doing it for other persons, because if those persons don't reciprocate the behavior you would like from them or the feelings or emotion you'd like from them, I would not want that to be something where you feel as if you're trying to go back to your old ways, or you feel like whatever you've learned through therapy, you want to throw that away. So I'm really hoping he is actually working on himself for himself and not necessarily for other people. Because if you're doing it for other people, then it what is the point at this point? Because people come and go, and if people go and this makes you feel like you need to go back to your old ways, then what have you actually learned? Now we got to where the group all were in a circle and they decided to play this grateful, what are you grateful for game. And we saw where Jesse stated that he is grateful for, the whole situation with when they came with him and Michelle, pretty much. And then when Michelle got the ball, she said she great. The happiest time, or really, is when they decided to come together to make a child. And of course, that made Jesse emotional. And of course, he decided to walk out, and he got more emotional when I think Jason was the one who went and checked on him. And I don't know, because what I'm seeing in the next preview, it seems like Michelle decided to check on him, but he decided to start asking again, did she cheat, and all of that. And it seems like to her, he wasn't necessarily really emotional. He was just the same Jesse. And that is sad, because I really thought that, okay, there is some sort of emotion or still lingering feelings between the two of them. Not like love, like emotion, like relationship, but there is some sort of feelings between the two. And I'm just hoping that he storming off or being emotional was not necessarily just a game or just a thing for him. But that was really the episode. The season is shaping out to be a good season. I'm happy we're getting a reunion. I think they always shot the reunion. And I can't wait to see these storylines come to a close when the end of the season, of course, the reunion. And I'm actually enjoying this season so far. I enjoyed the first season, and they're not disappointing right now with the second season. But let me know, guys, in the comment section what your thoughts were on the episode. Remember, guys, to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.